Hello, friends. Like the 30 people that still watch my YouTube shit. This is honestly just for you because I need at least like 30 people to get better at Dota. Just playing Dota all day today, getting super fucking triggered. And I decided I was gonna play on an account that was around 5K because I'm just bad at Dota right now. And what I'm starting to realize is that there's so many common mistakes being made when it comes to mechanical skill, but I don't want to focus on mechanical skill at all. All I want to focus today is pub mentality when it comes to playing the map. Because I feel like this is the number one thing people do not know how to do in Dota. I don't feel like people treat the map properly. I feel like everyone pretty much has an idea of how to play Dota, but when they watch competitive games or when they watch any streamer, all the focus is on mechanical skill. Like, oh my god, he missed that spell, or oh man, how did he not see that? Like, fuck all that shit. You're garbage if you think of Dota like that. Like, Dota should be thought of as a larger scale at all times. So the thing that I'm going to focus on today is I don't I don't really see this at 6 to 7k. This seems to be more of a problem at lower MMRs, is judging where to take fights and judging where fights are going to take place. So I just kind of want to go over a game really fast and kind of show you guys the things that you should be focusing on. So aside from the early game, so this is like a 5k average game or something like that. Just disregard the early game entirely. Uh, so we're gonna skip around. I don't think I think I've started ganking already. 6 minutes into the game. Okay. So disregarding the early game kills. So I solo kill the Dusa twice in lane. Because I'm just, I'm smurfing, so it's generally going to be a thing. You can look down on me for smurfing, but I'm trying to like get back into the groove of Dota. And the way that I got into the groove of Dota was when I got my main account from 4 to 7k. Uh, I was like 4.4k because of Southeast Asia region or some shit. So, uh, it's 5 minutes into the game. I really want you to pay close attention to where we decide to take fights, okay? At all times. So my teammates, I ended up adding two of them. They didn't understand why we were going where we were going, but they kind of instinctively did it. And I kind of don't want to turn this into instinct anymore. I want people to be always aware of what we're doing here. Like in Dota, your movements should have purpose behind them. They shouldn't just be like, I'm gonna move here for this reason. You should have a reason to move. So I push out this mid lane. Uh, Yada yada yada. We'll skip ahead even further than this. Trade some hits. Kill her again. Then go into the jungle. Find a kill here. This is pretty fortuitous, but alright. So that's the start of it. We get our first kill in the jungle. Our second kill looks like it's going to take place down here, but just kind of casually notice where the map is right now. So for Radiant to defend this Radiant jungle when you're playing Radiant is incredibly hard because there's just so much space to cover and there's so many different angles of attack. You can come in from here, you can come in from here, you can come in from here, you can TP down. It's almost impossible to ward that entire area. And you might think that this tower is a safe haven, but in fact it's a fucking death trap because you can cut in from this angle, from this angle. Like you have wide angles to just kind of scuttle people into. Because once you realize like, oh, we've trapped them in there like rats, you simply just attack into that point, and it doesn't matter how TPs come in. When people TP, it's like they're filtering in. It's like they're coming in one by one. You'll wipe them every single time. So the most important thing for the Dire in the early mid game is to get control of this area. Is to make Radiant just feel unsafe. So this guy narrowly gets away. We don't have vision, but notice where our first ward goes down. We get it into the jungle to control this point to see when their enemy mid comes, when their axe jungle comes in, and notice that we're all down here now. So I'm gonna push in the wave, probably grab treads here and a TP. I TP mid just to push it out, and the next rune is spawning at 8-minute mark. So I'm gonna grab that, push out the lane again, and look where I immediately go to. Once again, look where my team is set up already. Like they're already on the way to control this area, and now Radiant this time they've learned a lesson. If you're Radiant, you cannot take this point as one or two and hope two people TP in. You must take this fight as many people as you possibly can. You know that an anti-mage is not going to participate in the fight. This is us space creating for him. This is us helping him out by creating space across the map from him. We're not creating space in this mid lane. This mid lane's garbage. I've killed this Dusa like 3 times already. What do I need to kill her more for? there's a certain point where you just get diminishing returns after killing somebody. It is so much more important that you create space on the opposite side of the map for your core. We've now dragged 4 people down here. Unfortunately, this guy's gonna die. I missed the scream here, but he's still gonna die anyways. And so since the 6-minute mark or whatever this video decided to start, I have almost exclusively played on this side of the map, if you noticed. So now I'm gonna blink out, and let's see where things take us. Seems like there's action mid. And now they're starting to move around this 5. And this is usually the cause of what happens. And for Radiant, what they should do is they should start pressuring our anti-mage. Getting heroes up there, even sending the axe just to fuck with them, would be pretty monumental. But they feel like they need to fight as 5. Now they're grouped up as like 3 mid trying to gank me. But it doesn't matter. I'm going to grab this bottom half of the map again. And, alright, so let's take a look right here. The reason why I don't blink down here and fight is because I have no angle of engagement. If I blink down, they're running away from me. You always want to create an angle when you attack, so you want to come in from around at all times, so they have to run past you. This is a very basic Dota mechanic that pretty much everybody above 2K should know. So there's no point in jumping on that. But what I can do, even with them knowing here, look, they're going to start TPing one by one. I'm going to push in the wave and create a pincer for my team. So now, look, I create an angle. Look at the way that we attack. We attack from all 3 quadrants of the map. This Nyx is coming in as well. There's no way for them to escape. Even if they TP in the Medusa or the Axe at this point, it's too late. So now they've TP'd the Mirana. You know, we're just going to pick them off now one by one. This guy manages to get away, but does some stupid shit and tries to turn back around. And so for the most part, almost every single kill has been centered around this area. Almost all action has been centered around this dire jungle because I told my team, I said, please listen to me. I know what I'm talking about. Just trust me. Keep fighting in this area. They're going to keep filtering one by one. And one of 2 things is going to happen. A, they're going to give up this entire jungle area to us, and we're going to own the fucking map. Or they're eventually going to go fuck with our anti-mage, who can then replace us. Who can then take advantage of this area. Because this anti-mage at some point has to realize this top area is not going to be safe. Because the same is true of the dire side. It's very hard to protect this jungle, and even losing this track of this jungle is not that big of a deal because we can simply ward up here, keep control of these 3 camps, and that's enough for him to farm as well. Losing a small camp and a big camp inherently is not that big of a disadvantage. Whereas for Radiant, just by owning this side of the map, we can take control of a medium camp, medium/large camp, a small camp, and a large camp. And we can also take control of this Ancients area, this, and this Roshan, just by doing what we're doing right now. And so for Radiant to play this one by one style, there's only one way to do it. At TI5, or TI6, I mean, what I saw in the group stage is that Navi would TP 5 heroes, or 4 heroes down here, and smoke, presuming that people would be here as 5. Because you have to assume that people are going to be here at minimum as 3 or 4 on Dire. So this is my public services announcement, is that if you are on Radiant side and you are a support player, don't wander into this jungle by yourself thinking, oh, I'm pretty close to my team, you're gonna die. I'm gonna kill you every single fucking time. I can show you countless games where I pick Storm and I abuse people like you. Do not think that the tower is a safe zone. The tower is not a safe zone. The tower is far from a safe zone. The tower is where you get pincered in and you drag your teammates to death one by one. The quicker you get out of this mentality, the better it's going to be for you. You're going to have much more enjoyable time playing Dota 2. So I'm just going to go ahead real quick. I tell my team at some point, abandon this top lane. Of course, they don't listen. Look what happens. Our anti-mage dies, and now look where Radiant are. Radiant realized 12 minutes into the game, oh shit, we can no longer play the bottom half of the map. And look what they're going to do. They're going to play this top half of the map. And you can even see me draw a circle at some point. My team's pinging to fight. Like, this guy should not be alive right now, but they played this really badly. This guy should not be alive right now. You know, but I did tell my team, I said, please guys, do not go top. I even drew a line at some point. I'm waiting for the line to show up. Look, I said, don't go there. This is dead zone. You know, look, now I told them to ward right here. It's a very common D-ward spot, unfortunately. But now we can own these 3 camps. And we can just give up this half. I don't care about this half. So I told people, stop going up here. The only person that should maybe go up here is possibly Pit Lord. But the Nyx has no reason being here. So now they're showing 2 heroes up here. Nyx showing up here is bad because he's our space creator. He's the guy who scares the other guys. He's the guy who scares the Sven. If your Invis Bugman is showing on the map like this then the enemy doesn't feel afraid. The enemy's just gonna farm wherever they want. Now look at this man. He's farming his jungle again. But look where I go. I go to punish him again in the jungle. I don't want him to farm this area. He does not deserve to farm this area. But look at my team. For some reason, they're top. This Nyx is not pressuring with his ultimates. And now people are TPing. We're going to lose one hero for no reason. We somehow get out with the second hero, but unnecessary deaths in this top region. And I kept telling them, hey guys, you're just going to keep dying if you go up there. I 100% said this. I even drew that line like you saw. And look what happens. Another free kill for them. That just has no business happening. And if you look at the net worth swings, it's like 1k for each kill because we are far ahead. And look where I am on the map. I'm at this bottom half. I'm abusing this. Now my team is playing reactionary, and they're doing what they did. They're filtering in heroes, and I said, guys, please stop going to this area. So that is my public service announcement. When you watch streams, when you play your games, try to pay attention to the spots where you die and worst comment, because in my opinion, in my humble opinion, I think you should always fight where you have vision and where it's easy to protect. This top area, you cannot get all of it. This is so greedy to own all 5 camps in your own jungle. You can't do that. Getting away with these 3 alone by having this ward up is enough for me. Whenever I see my supports just walk into this Radiant jungle one by one, or my solo core just has to farm this camp, he's an idiot. Farm this ancient camp. Farm this top camp. Take advantage of this lane when it pushes in. Do things the correct way. So that's about it. I got super triggered and I had to make this video. I hope it all made sense. If you have any comments, I'm sure there will inevitably be somewhere for you to contact me or I will post. I very rarely respond to YouTube comments because although my YouTube comments seem pretty good, they're usually pretty bad. I'm going to give a plug to Capitalist, by the way. Please check him out. Twitch.tv/Dota Capitalist. Go watch his stream, support it, all that jazz. Thank you.